you don't know that there's some church folks can be miserable, and they look miserable. Some of them don't. They're not even miserable. They're just looking. They smile. Parking lot, they assist drivers to find appropriate parking, answer initial questions of those arriving, direct guests to appropriate entrances. You go to the church, where will I put my kids? Where can I find the restroom? Assist mothers, elderly, and so on and so forth to find the right destination. Then you move to the door greeters, okay? Be what I call a second miler. That you go the extra mile in order to make people feel comfortable. Continue the good first impression made from the parking lot. Provide a helpful transition from the strange and unfamiliar to the pleasant and the familiar. So first of all, when they come to the church, there must be a point of orientation, okay? This is our literature. You don't just walk into the church. You don't know what it's like. You walk into a church for the first time. You don't know what to do, where to sit, where you can sit. You might sit in the deacon's seat and find yourself in trouble. So you walk in, there must be orientation. Welcome desk must be there, your pack, and then from the parking lot person carries you to the front desk if you're a first-time visitor. From the front desk, then the usher takes over. And if you're going to go to the Sunday school, then he carries you to the Sunday school or into the main sanctuary. But you're escorted, and you're clear what's taking place. Set the tone for the worship service. Be sensitive to the needs of new people. Be caring and dependable. Again, you can talk about section captain, whether it's the pews. People need to arrive early, approach and befriend guests. Befriend, as you're saying, that have time in the service to greet each other, to have fellowship. Sometimes our services are so overburdened that there's no time to relax a little bit and to say, how are you doing? And that can be a part of the worship too. People often leave church and go straight home, but have time for fellowship. Talk to guests about their lives and their interests, and I can go on. But each section of the church needs people that can do this type of thing. And the guest and information center, have people there, place the center in the natural traffic pattern for the guests, so they can know where they're going. Provide incentive to stop by and ensure that the experience of the center reflects the welcoming commitment, comments made in the service, and so on. Again, have brochures and newsletters and information on the upcoming events and all these things to make the church look lively. Information about staff and children's ministry. Because maybe somebody may come to the church and not come back again, but they may see that you have a great youth ministry. Okay, you have a great youth ministry. My church don't have one. I'm going to send my kids to your church because I need to see you've got a great youth ministry. First impression, the sign, whether you go to the restroom or what have you, again, very important. Absent signs, you can sit in your chair, but you don't want to stand up and ask anybody. You might sit there and be very uncomfortable. What signs are needed outside the church building? Some churches have different doors. Find out, in terms of which is the way to the main sanctuary. Clear signings. These are some of the things that when I come, my experience is going to be very, very wonderful from the very beginning. First impression, the church. As we talked about having the signs. Ground should be well landscaped. Buildings should be clean, especially the toilets. Toilets must be well maintained. When you buy in a house, the most important places are the kitchen and the toilets. My wife, when we just bought a house, no matter how the house is, she went to the kitchen and she went to the toilet. And if it didn't qualify, we ain't gonna buy it. I don't care how much it's foreclosed, bank owned. She just said, he's gone. Okay, the building should be clean and well maintained. The building should be inviting and cosmetically. Put flowers in the toilets. When you go to the toilets, there are things there, extra things. That people think, it's nice. Put sweets in locations that people can take one. Make it be a pleasant environment. Again, we can talk about Sunday school. My time is gone, so I won't go on about this. But the nursery must be clean, bright, cheerful, and secure. So when I'm in service, I'm not concerned about my child. And did you know, talking about the value of a smile, Holiday Inn interviewed 5,000 people to fill 500 positions that were needed to open up a new facility. When the hotel manager interviewed these candidates, they excluded anyone who smiled fewer than 4 times during the course of the interview. This standard was applied to every available job and to every prospective employee. How many of your church members would qualify for a job at Holiday Inn? When I come to church, you must tell me that you come to the best place in town.
That's right.
We've been waiting for you. Yeah, no accident. Some people, you go to some churches, it's like, oh, pastor, we have a visitor coming. And they're not coming around looking for things to give you. They have not prepared for you. There's a difference between a visitor and a guest. Now, when somebody comes to, if I came to visit you at your house, I'm a visitor. And if I came and we ate and we talked for a while, and I'm a visitor, and you realize it came to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you begin to say, well, Pastor, it's great to see you. God bless you. Right? You must come again. You begin to really make signs because I'm a visitor, right? But if I'm a guest in your house, you just say, Pastor, when you're ready, you know where your room is upstairs on the left, because I'm a guest. But a visitor, and that's the difference. When people come, we must treat them as guests. That this is a place where you can come and stay. Not just a visitor. We're just glad to see you on a Sunday, and that is it. Again, in closing, Herb Miller gives the following statistics, and it's very well known amongst church growth scholars. 85% of guests return if visited in 36 hours. If you visit them within 36 hours, 85 will come back. 85% will come back. 60% of guests return if visited within the 72 hours. 15% of guests return if visited in 7 days. So, having an effective visitorial team that capitalize, that is mobilized for visitation, when people come, the first thing that happens in the morning is the secretary writes a letter from the pastor, we're glad to have you, here's a voucher, buy something, do something pleasant. The second one, they receive a phone call. I said, we were so glad to have you. God bless you. Do you mind if we pop around to see you? We have somebody living in that area. And the third hit is a visitation. Now, if I'm going to say, these people care about me so much, not everybody will come, but I tell you what, the percentage of those who come back the second time will be higher. Then you just go, what happened to that so-and-so? She came here 2 weeks ago. You ever said, give her a call. She's gone to another church. She's settled down. Somebody's already come to visit her, okay? And it goes on like that. Essential, communicating high expectation about what is involved in church membership. And it's important that to be a member of our church, we don't just want people who just sign up. We have groups, and when you sign up, you've got to be involved. There's no room here for sedentary spectators. We are a church mobilizing people. When you sign up for a membership, you have to look at the different ministries. You've got to be involved. You've got to be involved and you've got to be active. And that's what this slide is all about. Be intentional about building relationship with guests and new people. New members are guests are asking, can I develop friends in this church? Where do I find, how do I fit in? Am I needed? And if a person cannot name at least 6 other friends in the church in the first 6 months, they are likely to drop out. And different ways you can connect there. Connect people through small groups. I have different small groups here and there. I believe in that passionately. I've always exercised that in my own ministry. I make small groups for everything. We had a football team that just met on the field, and people joined them. They had people coming to play with them that didn't come to the church for weeks and months. After a while, they said, when do you go to church again? Oh, we go to church. Why do you come along? And he said, oh, come along. And when they come to the church, they know people. Hey, but the first thing I do when I go to church is look for people I know. Or you go to a strange place, you look for someone that you know. If you go to a strange place and you see somebody you know, you say, hey, hi, how are you? And you just slowly, when you're standing there, you don't know nobody. And so small groups are very important to get people involved even before they come to church. But help people find their place of ministry. Churches need to identify entry levels of ministry that new people can become involved in almost immediately. And these are some of the resources you can use to help people find their ministries. You have Shaped by Eric Rees, and there are other things you can also use. Okay, right, so that's about all we have. So in short, I'm saying that we need to, one, understand communities. We need to understand the way society works, and we need to be intentional about not just being people who are engaged in church work, but we are people who want to engage with the community, but at the same time, when they come to church, church should be a fantastic experience. It should be positive, it should be something that people say, I went to church the other day and I had a great time. God bless you.